You everyone for joining us this evening for today's learning circle, the idea behind every idea. In this session, you will explore how strong ideas are often hidden in plain sight and how simple processes like observation, questioning, and experimentation can help bring them forward. This will be an interactive session, so feel free to ask a question or share your insights with us. You can do the same in the chat box as well. This session is supposed to also give you a glimpse into the classroom of the Ashoka Horizons Achievers program course called Business and Entrepreneurship Founders Playbook, where students will discover how entrepreneurs turn raw ideas into viable ventures by identifying meaningful problems and validating solutions to understand what it truly takes to scale and launch a startup. Within the course, you will develop your own startup idea from scratch, create customer personas, prototype your own solutions, and at the end of it, finally deliver a mock investor pitch as part of your capstone project. The course will be led by Professor Prakash Hamrajan, who's a visiting faculty at Ashoka University and has over 30 years of experience in marketing and advertising as business head, chief marketing officer, strategy head, and currently he's an independent consultant and advertiser. During the course, he will also be supported by Aditi Nemani as a teaching fellow. She's an entrepreneurship educator who has extensive experience as a startup mentor across higher education, edtech, and entrepreneurship ecosystem, and has also contributed to entrepreneurship education initiative, including curriculum development with the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. She's also will be taking us through some fun activities in the next hour. So it is over to you, Aditi. Would you like me to stop sharing so you can share your own screen?
Yeah, sure. Just go to the next slide once.
Oh, all right. Nice.
No, slide number two. Yeah. Okay. Isha message. So yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Virat, for the lovely introduction. And thanks everyone for joining in today. Hi, I'm Aditi, and I've always been passionate about entrepreneurship education, and I think that is what sort of helps me to keep coming back to this and talk about it, especially with young students and the parents of those students as well. Um, so yeah, today's webinar, I think I think the idea is to really sort of land a couple of key takeaways sort of myths that is sort of that revolve around entrepreneurship and the how to come up with ideas, etc. And I think a lot of it you might feel is common sense when you sort of go through it, but I think it'll just help you to sort of reflect and sort of open up your mind to I think just become more observant around you. uh, so yeah, that's I think about it. And I am really hoping that everyone participates really well in the webinar today. What I'm going to do is just go to the next slide, please. I'm going to gather a few responses from you. I would like everyone to, quickly just go to menti.com or scan the QR code if you want to from your phones, or go to menti.com from your laptops and basically enter the code 72279873. You can see the question that's popping up, which is, where do entrepreneurial ideas come from? And that's what I want to know. I want you to answer the question, where do entrepreneurial ideas come from, on menti.com, right? So let's do this and try to keep it like one or two words and not like a sentence, because I think we just want to capture the gist. So Virat, you can stop sharing and I'll be sharing the Menti screen now. Thank you. So I hope everyone got that. Please go to menti.com, or I hope you scan the QR code, and I'm going to open that up again. Okay. So let's see. Um, Okay, I think desktop's fine. Browse tab's fine. Okay. Just give me a second for this. So, okay. Is everyone able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Oh, I already see responses have come in. Thank you so much. That was very, very quick. Problem and surroundings, bang on. Necessity and innovation, surely. Needs, I think problems and needs. Hobbies and knowledge, love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Experience, research, experience and gaps, insufficiencies, young minds, of course, and problems, right? So these are some, I think I'm going to pick out the keywords really from this word cloud. And what I see is, I think personal experiences and experience or problems go sort of hand in hand, because a lot of problems in from our personal experiences also we come up with problems that we want to tackle. Needs, definitely also the other thing that some ideas come up because a need is created in the market rather than sort of it's almost like how Steve Jobs says that the customer doesn't know what they want until you show it to them, right? So it's also about like sort of capturing those latent needs which are not very visibly evident, I think, for in sort of coming up with ideas and tackling them through ideas. Daily life observations, so yes, of course. Market gaps is also very, very interesting. And of course, you need to follow up with research, and of course, hobby and knowledge, whatever you're passionate about, you want to build something around it. And I think that goes a lot for people who also do entrepreneurial activity in their professions. Like somebody who loves music might want to do there something in that, and if they are talented in that, or sometimes even like doctors and lawyers end up sort of having entrepreneurial ideas and ventures uh, solely because of their hobby and passion and profession. So thank you so much for sharing this. I'm going to stop sharing, and let's quickly go to um, yeah, Mentimeter is done. I'm just going to I'm just checking chat as well. Okay. So right. So let's just go to what we have to sort of discuss today. Uh, okay. Hmm, I think yeah, this is fine. Okay. Just give me 1 second, people, everyone. Sorry, there's an issue in sharing, I think. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what you can see. Yeah, I think. Can you see
We
my
can
screen?
see their presentation right now.
Great, great,
Yeah.
awesome. So let's go to this. You can see. Stop sharing. 1 second. I think I have to just go and escape the. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Got that. Okay. Sharing again. Share. Okay, I hope you can see the presentation now.
Yes.
Uh, let's go to slideshow. Okay, so I think the first myth I want to talk about when we begin the session is that I think a lot of people associate coming up with entrepreneur. So why did I sort of even ask the question of entrepreneurial ideas? Because I think there's a difference between business and entrepreneurial ideas, first of all, right? Like here we are not saying that it is entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial activity is not solely business. It can also be that you are sort of innovating in a set system, within a certain system. It can be where you are sort of coming up with a creative thing you want to do, even in your existing environment, and without even sort of going into the whole startup um, into the whole startup journey, right? So I think one of the mental blocks that we often feel is that where we feel that I'm not creative enough to come up with good ideas, and I think that's a lot of times creativity is not associated with good ideas. And what we are really going to unravel today at the end of this by the end of the session is that actually what do you sort of have to start thinking about to come up with good ideas. So here is a video I love, and I think it's sort of a good motivation to start the session today. I'm not sure why the video is not playing here, but I can quickly just share the video with you. Okay.
Ay, I'm so sorry.
And I hope everyone's got their names right here. Okay, so um, okay. Let's go to
Hi, Aditi. Do you want to try maybe going into slideshow mode? That should
yeah,
help.
I already did that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. So I think share some. Let me just check. Yeah. I'm not sure what is the problem. Keynote. Okay, guys. Sorry, there was a share issue in sharing sound, so I had to reshare. Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. I hope you can hear the sound also. So let's have a look at this. Okay.
Hello, Tedsters. This is actually my third TED 3-minute talk, and it's great to be able to share my research. But, being known as the 3-minute guy is not always a good thing. Now, TED is all about ideas I'll try that over. Now, TED is all about ideas worth spreading. But many people think, I could never have an idea worth spreading. I'm not creative or artsy or a genius. Well, the good news is anyone can have super ideas. And the interesting thing is that many great ideas come when people do surprisingly simple things. So let's look at 4 simple ways to have super ideas. One is have a problem. because ideas are solutions to everyday problems. Richard Branson told me he had a problem. He was stranded in the airport after his flight to Puerto Rico was canceled. And to solve the problem, he got on the phone, called around, chartered a plane, sold tickets to the other stranded passengers, and actually ended up making a profit. The light went on, I could start an airline. And the idea for Virgin Atlantic was born. Sam Smith had a problem. He was really heartbroken after his lover left him. And then he thought, well, to get over it, I'll write about it. The light went on, and the idea for a song called Stay With Me was born. It went on to win 4 Grammy Awards and Song of the Year. So Sam went from very heartbroken to very happy, and the idea solved his problem. Number 2, listen, because ears are Wi-Fi for ideas. Dr. Jean Carruthers was injecting a patient's eyelids with Botox to stop muscle spasms. And the patient asked, why didn't you inject my forehead? Jean said, you don't have spasms there. The patient said, I know, but every time you inject my forehead, I get this beautiful, untroubled expression. Jean listened, the light went on, and she had the idea to use Botox to reduce frown lines and wrinkles. And from that one comment, a whole new Botox treatment came around that's now used by millions and valued at billions. Number 3, look around. Richard Feynman was a physicist eating lunch in the Cornell University cafeteria. And a student stood up and threw a plate across the room. Those crazy students. And Richard noticed as the plate spun through the air, the Cornell medallion on the plate seemed to be spinning faster than the plate. Well, he went away, got an idea, worked out the motion of the mass particles, whatever they are. And he said, looking at that plate was what won his Nobel Prize. Gee, I look at a plate and all I see is food. He looks at a plate and wins the Nobel Prize. So when it comes to ideas, IQ, spelled EYE, often wins over IQ. As Marilyn Bossavant says, and she holds a Guinness record for highest IQ, to acquire knowledge one must study, but to acquire wisdom one must observe. Or as Warren Buffett says, I always believe my eyes rather than anything else. And now the biggest secret for super ideas, could I have a drum roll, please? Oh, that's not bad. Come on, one more time. Wait, I have to introduce you. Okay, one more time. A drum roll, please. Whoa, now that's what I call a drum roll. The important thing is write down your ideas, because if you don't, they'll fly away never to return. Larry Page says, when I was 23, I suddenly woke up thinking, what if we could download the whole web and just keep the links? I grabbed a pen and started scribbling out the details, and Google was born. When a really great dream shows up, grab it. So if you are dreaming of a great idea, forget being artsy or creative or a genius. Just be yourself, do some really simple things, and you too can have super ideas worth sharing. And I can't wait to hear about them. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thanks everyone. I hope you can hear me. Really, I think the video captured your responses, what you sort of gave back to say that, a great idea sort of, where do ideas really come from? Ideas come from problems around us, from
હા,
listening.
કટ કરી
Uh,
દો નથી કઈ શું કામ છે.
Sorry, Tatwa, can you go on mute? From really the other thing is from listening to others, right? From listening to what people are saying, people are talking about. These days we have social media and we know what people are also talking about. So a lot of listening, a lot of looking, observing what's happening. And also I think the final sort of pitch that he says that it's important to write down the ideas. Really the idea behind every idea is that open your mind, look around, listen to others, listen to the world around you, and start also looking for problems, I think is one of the core things that's coming out of it, which is also something very similar to what you told me. So really ideas come from the creative process of generating and developing potential solutions, I think. So first part, let's look at the first part first, right? So it's not creativity, it's a creative process. It's not any innate artsy or creativity in you. It's basically about this whole creative process that you actually follow to get somewhere, and that is something we will explore in the course more. You can more think of it as something very very similar to the design thinking process also, but it's really a process. It's actually a sort of step by step and back and forth process that you follow, and a very experimental process that you follow to sort of reach to ideas, right? And what does this process really exist of, right? It's a lot of generating ideas. It's a lot of like coming up with a lot of ideas. It's a lot of sharing. It's a lot of developing. Ki, acha, like what can we do? How can we do this? Really using your hands to create prototypes, really sort of, getting your hands dirty to go out in the world and see what exists and what doesn't exist, right? And really potential solutions. Let me highlight the word potential here, because here I think a lot of people confuse ideas for solutions, and that's sort of a pitfall, because ideas are actually not equal to solutions. Ideas are ideas, but they can become potential solutions which you don't know. So hence potential solutions for a problem or a challenge, right? So that's, I think, what sort of we have established, that this is where ideas come from. A lot of ideas come from problems around you, challenges around you, what you personally feel, what you see others going through. The more empathy you have, the more sort of you notice what people are saying around you, what people need around you. As I said, latent need is the word I had used towards the beginning of the session. So really, a lot of entrepreneurship spirit comes from the whole passion of solving these problems. And that sort of takes me to a little sort of interaction I want to do with you, is that could you tell me in chat and write it down? As you said, write down one annoying problem you faced this week. Um, and yeah, like this could be anything, right? Like, don't tell me your friends annoyed you, but annoying problem really from the perspective of solvable with an entrepreneurial idea. So I can stop sharing if you want to. Uh, see. So yeah, I hope you got the question. Please share in chat if possible. If you don't talk, we're not going to be successful with this webinar. So please, if one or two of you also can share, think about it, take a minute, write down an annoying problem you sort of experienced this week. And again, this week might seem like with the scope is really like low, so you can think about it this month or something like that, right? Like it could be things like, so let me start with me. I think an annoying problem, which is very recent for me, that I faced, is that I have a little toddler and she's just sort of started her meal in school, and she's sort of being served meals in the school, and I sort of have no sort of track about what is she eating or how much is she eating, or the nutritional value of it, let's say. So things like those, right? Like something very small, like how parents are sort of blinded by what's happening in school for the kids sometimes, and maybe that I think that's annoying for me for sure. So yeah, please do write down an annoying problem you faced in your recent time. That will be very helpful. If yeah. So Vruddhi has shared. Thank you, Vruddhi, for sharing something. Hi, so my water bottle keeps falling in class and gets pretty annoying because it makes awful clang every time it topples. Okay, that's a very interesting problem to have with a water bottle because water bottles have been redesigned and constantly redesigned to I think sort of meet everyone's needs. Somebody wants the water to be insulated. Somebody wants it to be a like nice hold, so that they can hold their water with ease. Somebody wants like lovely aesthetics, because it's an accessory in some schools. So thank you for that. How can the water bottle? How might we make the water bottle not topple? That's sort of the problem statement here. Daily cleaners left for Bengal elections. Thank you, Anuj. I think that's a very, very practical problem. I completely associate with that. And I think everyone, while kids will not, but I think everyone who's running a house will associate with that. What could be that is a problem. So, like now we will get to the idea for sure. Had no internet connection for one day. Okay. Thank you, Reena. The one day is a lot, I think. I think a couple of hours is still okay, but one whole day is a lot. Great. So thanks so much for sharing that. And of course, if anybody else feels comfortable to share, please let the responses come in as well. So let's now really look at this is something I want to sort of share with you is that this is a very, very interesting infographic that shows, if you can read, I hope. If you look at different founders and how sort of they came up with aha moments. So the reason, the reason I sort of asked you to think about one annoying problem is because if you look at a lot of founders, a lot of company founders, and especially more of those founders who are not sort of cloning ideas, but really coming up with original ideas, I would say. They have, a lot of times they have felt this annoying problem in their own experience, and wanted to sort of have an additional feature in something like Rudy said that my bottle keeps falling, so it is an additional feature. It's not a need. Every bottle's need is to give you water or whatever liquid you're carrying to drink that, store that. But now there are so many different other needs that are coming up, right? And so a lot of times these are the kind of needs or problems that motivates founders, and really those create the aha moments, about the moments which make people and entrepreneurs realize what they want to do in life, right? And I would like to pick out some interesting examples from this infographic. You can take your time to read it as well. But something very, very simple like GoPro, right? Like, so the GoPro founder went surfing and could not take pictures of himself. And that's so interesting, right? Because surfing is such an old sport, by the way. So surfing has been around for a lot of years that than recent past. But if you look at GoPro, it's so much more recent because nobody else thought it was a problem. Nobody else thought it was needed. And I think even if people thought about it, how thought that it was a problem or a need, they sort of did nothing about it, which we will also talk about. Um, something like WhatsApp founder, I think also very, very personal, right? Could not afford to call his father in Ukraine. And where actually now today video calling or voice call using the internet is so common, but when it wasn't, it was a problem, right? And then of course Gap, also very, very interesting, that could not find a store selling jeans that fit well. I love Lululemon, while that's also a controversy right now, given the current affairs. But with Lululemon, also, I think very, very interesting insight, I would call it, because it really noticed that a lot of women do yoga. More than men, women were doing yoga, or something like how women are doing Pilates today more. And there was no sort of special gym wear or sort of sports wear or yoga wear to wear that existed, which was comfortable and affordable and all of that. So if you notice, this, it's a lot about that. Some are observations, some are experiences, some are your own personal experiences which were a problem. Some are your own experiences that you just sort of experimented and you were like, oh my God. Some are observation, like looking at people, and right, and some are sort of like some are just trial and error sometimes. Like for example, if you look at Pinterest, somebody made 50 versions of the same picture grid, and that sort of created the whole idea of Pinterest, that how to sort of beautify your single photo as well. um, and sometimes, if you travel to a new culture or a country and you explore a new culture, sometimes even that triggers ideas. Like if you look at Crocs, Crocs was actually born out of a travel experience where the founders actually traveled and they went for some boating experience. And Crocs was originally boating shoes. They were actually shoes that were used for boating so that people did not slip. And then how Crocs became the to-go store for especially kids' footwear, right? Like store more than adults, a lot of kids love to wear Crocs, and that's become an accessory. Um, so yeah, very, very interesting examples here. There's Red Bull, there's IKEA. I think I love IKEA, that could not find a table in his car, so he took the legs off. Like literally, IKEA is so much about assembling furniture. So, and what I love about this sort of example is that, it also shows the age, by the way. If you look at the numbers, it shows the age at which they started their respective businesses. So, while it might be too soon, but I really want to understand that, if you were to be in this sort of in the shoes of an entrepreneur for, let's say, a couple of minutes, I would like to know what is your aha moment. And I'm not saying this that the aha moment needs to be related to a problem or a business idea, even sometimes something that you want to do or try in life, and be like, yeah, like I want to do this for sure. Like this is one aha moment I have had till now. So do share. I think please unmute. I want to hear your voices. Tell me a little bit about any aha moment you've had in your lifetime till now. Um, so yeah, anyone for sharing? I'll give that a minute.
Hello.
Yes, Rudeep, go ahead.
Hi. So,
Hi.
an aha moment I had was when I think I was around 5. Um, yeah, I was really small. I'm 15 now. Um, so I had gone to this concert, okay, because my parents had forced me into this like a choir, and I was really scared because it was the first time I'd be singing in front of strangers. You know, I was really small, so I was like, um, so once I went on stage, it was like, it was like the world was closing in on me. But then when I started to sing, and the crowd clapped at the end of the performance, I was so elated with, my 5-year-old heart. It was like full of joy. And that was when I knew that singing was my passion. And till now, I play the sitar. I have sung Portuguese songs. I sing opera. Um, I sing pop songs. I sing classical Indian. And yeah, now it's my passion.
Wow, and thanks so much for sharing that, Rudy, because sometimes, and what's amazing is that you remember this aha moment from when you were 5 years old. So that's amazing that you even remember the feeling. But surely, like, this is amazing because you know it is an aha moment because you did something about it. We don't call every problem an aha moment. Let me also clarify that, right? Like, not every problem you experience is like an aha moment for you, because the aha moment actually sort of comes up when you do something about it, and you did so much more after that feeling. You're like, yeah, I want to follow this, I want to learn this. So by 15, I'm doing this almost, right? So um it's very interesting, and I would like to also share my own aha moment, and I'm hoping other people share too. Where I sort of, why did I sort of know that I want to continue teaching entrepreneurship always, or at least sort of doing something in the field of entrepreneurship education, was my own experience during my masters. Where, during my masters, they had an experience to go and sort of mentor students at high school level, at a low income school in Boston. And that is where the first time I was giving away what I had learned to a student. And when I was giving it away, I realized, how this sort of the kind of impact it was having on a high schooler. It was amazing because I was like, oh my God, like none of us in India have had this sort of impact yet, and or this experience yet, and how this is so much needed in India. This kind of exposure, so that how entrepreneurial active, how high schoolers are already building startups. Like somebody is coming up with a lip oil, somebody is coming up with a gaming sort of station, somebody is coming up with whatever, right? But point is, even if you're coming up with a simple t-shirt, the idea is that you're sort of, that was my aha moment, that oh my God, like imagine the kind of impact this early exposure is having on people. I can't see chat for some reason. There's a problem with my okay, I can open it now, I think. uh can somebody just read out the chat? Virat, can you
I
help me read
think
out the chat?
Anmol wanted to share his aha moment. So Anmol, feel
Yeah,
free to unmute
hello.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am actually Anika. Amol is my father's name. I don't know why it's saying that.
that's fine. Please go, Anika.
Yeah. So my aha moment would be when I was 10 years old and it was lockdown period. And my dad would do stock market trading and I used to sit beside him and just look at the charts. And I got very interested and I learned quite a bit about it. Then later, after 2 years, um, I came across a lot of children who didn't know anything about, and like not even children, but like there were many adults who were doing like jobs and stuff and who were like bachelors, and they accepted that they didn't really know anything about it. So I'm like, why not start teaching children about this at an early age so it can be really helpful for them when they go ahead. So I've actually, it's been 1 year now and I've started teaching children, so I'm really happy about it.
Well, that's amazing, Anika, and that's very, very inspiring. It's very similar to sort of my experience. And definitely, me and my daughter are going to be your first customers also. First paid customers to sort of learn about it. But yeah, I think that's amazing because again, it's an aha moment because you realize something that you liked, you understood, you learned more about it, you experimented, and then you actually did something about it. You took action on it. Again, I'm emphasizing this because we will come to that. Anybody else? I saw some hand raises, so please, guys, just unmute and share if you have anything. Anybody else? I think I saw somebody raise his hand, his or her hand. So, Virat, any other responses in chat in case I have missed anything?
Not that I see.
Okay, great. Great. So, no shares, so I can move on for sure. Um, okay, so I think this is a sort of a good segment to get into because this is what we were talking about. You guys shared your aha moment, and I kept emphasizing that till you don't take action on it, it's not sort of the aha moment for you because it might just be a personal problem that annoyed you. But what do you see in this picture? Can somebody tell me what do you see in this picture? And this is open for Virat and Isha as well. Can someone tell me what do you see in this picture?
It's not a trick question, is it?
It could be.
Is it your pet?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Virat. Did you say
Is
anything?
it your pet with no adorable toy?
No, it's not my own pet. No.
Oh.
Any, any other guesses? What do you see in
I
this picture?
think I think that the puppy wants to play. He's sad. He has something in his mouth.
Okay, it's a sad puppy. Okay.
I think the puppy's bored.
It's a bored puppy. Okay. Sad, bored. Anything else?
The puppy is desperate for attention.
Desperate for attention. So like it's sad because it wants attention. Okay, so
Yeah.
sad. Okay, sad and bored. Okay. Okay. So actually, this is my sort of explanation, I would say, of this is not a puppy. This is not a sad, bored, lazy puppy. This is an idea without action. Okay, so I think that is my metaphor. I just thought I'll grab your attention with a cute puppy photo, but this is really the idea without action, and that's what we're going to sort of get into the next segment of our session. That you did in the first segment, you sort of spoke about annoying problems. You spoke about an aha moment, and I'm so happy that a couple of you actually shared aha moments because you've done something about it, and you want to for sure take those things forward and see what you can do around it, and that's why you're here. But in the second segment, what we're talking about is that what do we do when we have ideas is the question, but what happens when we don't do anything about it, right? So can anyone tell me that maybe you had an idea, and again, this is not a business idea, guys. This could be an idea to play a sport, play a new sport, or try a new sport. This could be an idea to join a new class or whatever it is. But describe a time in your life when you thought of an idea and did nothing about it. You were like, "Ha, I want to do this. I will get there," but you were procrastinating, and it just fizzled out, right? Any experiences? Anybody? I've had like very, very good aha moments. So I'm hoping there are some people who've done nothing about it also. Any shares? Anika, please go
So
ahead. Sorry, Vruddhi, go ahead. Anika, I'll take your turn. Yeah, Vruddhi.
I'm so sorry, Anika. Um, so this had actually happened last weekend. It's really a pretty relevant, relatable problem. So last weekend I was contemplating whether I should, study for a test and or I should bake a cake. And baking a cake was like the most appealing option because I didn't want to study. um and I mean the test was really easy and I didn't spend too much time studying for it. And then I just scrolled through YouTube shorts, but we don't talk about that. um So I thought of baking a cake, but I didn't do it. And instead, I resorted to um, things that I would otherwise do because I had the opportunity to bake a cake and I didn't take it. And now I regret that.
Sure, thanks, Udi, for sharing that. Definitely, right? Like these experiences happen with us all the time. That I want to try this, I want to learn this, I want to do this in this moment, and then we start sort of going on social media and wasting our precious time. So I think all of us have been there, and all of us do that on a daily basis. Anika, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So for the longest time, I've been wanting to start like my social media journey, but I guess I'm procrastinating, or maybe I'm just not ready yet. I don't know, but like I want to start, but I'm not starting.
So you mean you want to sort of register yourself on different social media apps which you haven't yet?
Yeah.
You're not on social media. Okay, sure. Okay, that's very interesting. And of course, there might be many reasons that you haven't done anything about it. But basically, the point that I want to come back to the dog picture, where I really want to say that when we think of business ideas or when we think of ideas of doing something new, when we also think about becoming entrepreneurs, an idea without action is like a lamp without a bulb. Okay, it's like that puppy. It has no value in itself. Why am I saying this? Because you guys are young, or let's say even when you grow up and you feel you've worked enough and you've sort of gotten all your degrees, fancy degrees, and then you're like, no, no, now I want to do something in life of my own. Yeah, like now I want to start something of my own. If you feel that at any moment, remember this, that nobody, when you get out there in the real world and you actually pitch ideas to investors, angel investors, or venture capitalists, or even sort of accelerator programs, um, nobody will listen to just an idea. Nobody is interested in it. There is no value in the idea you have, right? Even if you are cloning, let's say, I don't even know which global startup hasn't been cloned in India, but let's say even if you're cloning an IKEA, okay, even if you're cloning an idea from the Western world or from anywhere, or if you're coming up with your own idea, ki, acha, yaar, I want to, just do this. Like, I want to come up with this fancy fitness app, or I want to come up with, a jeans for that changes color, whatever it is, right? No matter how crazy it is, the idea will have no value. And why do I say this is because this is one of the myths I want to bust today, is because when you have an idea, till you don't do something about it, till you don't get out in the world and do something about it, nobody is going to sort of be interested. Nobody is going to listen. Nobody is going to pay. Nobody is going to buy. Nobody is going to invest. Right. So that's, I think, one of the sort of second takeaways for the session today. That think about this: that an idea without action is like a lamp without a bulb. And the last segment of our session today, given the time period that we have, very short period, is that we are going to very quickly discuss how do we take action on our ideas. I'm going to just leave you with that, okay? Anybody tell me, what do you see here? Again, I love doing this, guys. I just love capturing your attention with random photos. So, anyone can tell me, what do you see here? Virat, why don't you take a shot at this?
Uh, okay, I have to be very given the last answer. Is it plucking something out? So this is supposed to be a metaphor for cloning an already
Cloning, okay.
established idea.
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat that?
This is supposed to be a metaphor for cloning an already established idea, like taking
Cloning and
something.
already special. You're close.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that you picked on the fact that this is going to be a metaphor. Okay. Anybody else? Anika, go ahead.
Okay, so I think what he said might be true, but like maybe like they made it into a better shape, right? So maybe like cloning the idea but making it better and adding a few of their touches. Something
Okay,
like
thanks
that.
for adding that layer to Virat's response. Vruddhi?
I think it's like digging deep within yourself and exploring your own potential.
Wow, okay. Guys, I love how philosophical all of you are, because end of the day, this is just peeling an onion. So it is not philosophical at all. Thanks, Rudy, for sharing that as well. So I'm going to give it away. It is actually peeling the onion. Okay, like what is happening in this picture is somebody is peeling the onion. Somebody is taking out the whatever outer layer of the onion. But what I like to call it is peeling the idea. Okay? Peel your idea. Let me repeat that. Peel your idea. The first step to take action on your idea is peel your idea. And how do you sort of do that? Start questioning, right? Things like what problem does it solve? Who has the problem? Why does this problem exist? How is the problem being solved right now? Is it unique or different from other solutions? Will people pay for it? Etc. 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 Right? So, um, let's take the example of a fitness app, okay? And help me sort of crowdfund the responses for this. So, I have an idea of a fitness app. Okay, this is my description. I am your student. You have asked me what is your business idea. My business idea is a fitness app. Okay. Now tell me if we had to sort of start peeling the idea, right? And if you had to add to it, you're my team and you have to add to it. Can you tell me what is the problem that my fitness idea app, my fitness app could solve? What problem could my fitness app solve? Anyone on that?
Maybe it can count like the calories of the food or the nutrition, and then it can probably do like weight loss tracking as well.
Awesome. So basically calculating the nutritional value of my everyday food, where I just have to sort of quick type in कि आज मैंने ये खाया, and then tell me the calories I've taken in, and in case I'm doing any other exercises or workout, it helps me to sort of track that and reduce my weight as well. Great. Vruddhi, I'm going to take your hand for the next question. Who do you think has this problem? Who will the fitness app solve the problem for? After Anika answered what the problem is that the fitness app is solving. Vruddhi, any responses on that? Who do you think has
Um,
the
uh, so I think people who are insecure about the way they look, or maybe um people who are already fit and they want to maintain their fitness, or
great? Yeah, go ahead.
or it could be people it could be chefs who are willing, like who are looking to incorporate healthier meals. I don't know, this is I don't know.
Yeah, perfect. I like the direction you're thinking in because you're going in different directions to really think who could be your potential customers, kaun paise dega, right? Like something as simple as that. So, like for example, who has this problem? So, could it be an overweight person? Could it just be a person who wants to continue staying fit? Could it be a person who feels a little insecure about the way they are looking and they would sort of be more nicer looking for their own friends group or for society? It could be anybody. This is where you are also unlayering your customer persona, which we will also talk about in the course. Anika, why don't you tell me that basis the problem and who has this problem? If you had to tell me why does this problem exist? Anika, any responses on that? Why do you think such a problem exists? Why does the problem of calories or nutritional value exists?
I think it would be because of the unhealthy lifestyles that most adults have these days, especially like maybe corporate employees or something because of the workload. They don't keep a track of, their habits and yeah, something like that maybe.
Perfect. Sedentary lifestyles, overworked customers, right? People who don't have the time to work out or on a regular basis. They're not strict or disciplined enough to work out on a regular basis, and hence they feel that the only change we can make in our lives is calculating our calories. And there's so much awareness about it, right? Everywhere. Last question. Anybody wants to take a crack at how is the problem being solved right now? Last question, given the time. Anika, go ahead.
Um, I do see that there are a lot of apps like this, but I don't think that people follow it. Like they're not disciplined enough to keep track of it. There is, gyms, parks, and like yoga classes or anything. Then there's diet planning and all of that. But it doesn't really capture a lot of customer base, I would say, because not everyone is disciplined enough, and they not everyone takes the initiative and doesn't accept the fact that they really need to work on their fitness.
Perfect. Thank you, Anika. Thanks for the lovely response. I'll come back to that. Rudy, go ahead for this question. How is the problem being solved right now?
Um, so it's using technology, an app, and this is really good because technology is accessible to people from different places, so there's a wider consumer base. Um, and there's also social awareness, especially through media platforms. Um, and that's how this problem is being like uh it's more people are educated about it, and that's why I think that especially in this era there are a lot of people willing to use these apps and
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Rudy. So what I was trying to say is how is the problem being solved right now if the fitness app, my fitness app, did not exist? But what I love is that in the last question, if you look at the response you've given, what you have to think about is that we know the problem, we know who has the problem, we know why the problem exists, and we know that there are other solutions of the problem. But in a lot of times, when you think of ideas, it is not necessary that the idea you have or the solution you have is going to exactly solve the problem that you are trying to explore. Okay, hear me out. When does the problem that you have discovered become an insight? It's actually when you can actually think of it that the problem is like an arrow and it has to hit the bullseye, vice versa. The idea is like an arrow and it has to hit the bullseye, which is the problem. So, the harder part in entrepreneurship is not to figure out the idea so much. It is not, idea comes much later and solution comes much later than that, right? It is not about the idea, it is about the problem you are trying to solve or the need you are trying to capture, or basically what sort of product you or service you want to get out there. So this is what we did in this activity with the fitness map example. We literally peeled the onion, which is peeled the idea. The first step to entrepreneurial action is questioning. Start asking these questions and more questions. And when you start asking these questions, you will automatically start finding answers to these questions. What problem does it solve? You could come up with 20 problems and then figure out ki, acha, your app, which problem should it target? You could figure out 10 potential customers, but you have to figure out who is that one single core customer who will give money for this. You could figure out 10 reasons that this problem exists, right? But what is that one reason for which the customer will pay you, right? How is the problem being solved right now? There are 100 other solutions for the problems you've come up with. Okay. But who are your direct competitors? कि कौन एक ऐसा ही फिटनेस ऐप कर रहा है, who is doing that fitness app which is giving you the calorie count and nutritional value, but that is not what the customer wants probably, or why are you going to be different, right? So this is, I think, a sort of orientation or trailer of the program that we are going to talk about in the summer. That how do you start taking entrepreneurial action? And my closing thoughts for the day is that good ideas were what we began our session with. That where do good ideas come from? I'm not creative enough to come up with good ideas. Good ideas are not random. Good ideas are not about creativity, but they are actually discovered by paying attention. And you start paying attention as you take entrepreneurial action on your ideas. That's my segment, guys. Thank you so much. Any questions about the program, about the course? Happy to answer those. And of course, the team is here in case you have any other questions. Over to you, Virat.
Uh, I think we'll wait just a couple of minutes for the question because we are very short in time. So guys, feel free to raise your hand uh, or type your questions in the chat box. Mm, I guess every question was answered already during the session. So thank you, Aditi, for taking us through that journey. I just want to bring everyone attention to all the courses that we're offering this summer. Founders Playbook is actually a part of it. We have the 8 exciting courses spread across 2 editions. Edition 1 takes place from May 23rd to June 14th, followed by a gap of 1 week, and then Edition 2 takes place from June 20th to July 12th. This time the courses are split between different editions because we are aware that many students have varied academic schedule, and if they don't find time for the edition 1, they can opt for the other one and vice versa. So the courses are being covered in different disciplines such as psychology, computer science, data sciences, economics, biosciences, and students have the option to attend multiple courses in different editions. So for example, if you were to attend Founders Playbook, you can also have the option to attend its complementary counterpart, business and entrepreneurship business strategies for future leaders. So if in Founders Playbook you're creating your own idea, in the second course you will figure out how to keep that idea afloat and how to make those business strategies to remain competitive in this market. The classes will take place specifically on the weekends from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's spread across 4 weekends. And you also have the option to participate in office hours with the course teaching fellow. The course will end up in a capstone project where you will present it on the last demo day. And afterwards, we also have the opportunity for the students to be eligible for extended opportunities. And you can do that by performing really well in the course. These opportunities can be in the form of internship, mentorship, observerships, and etc. For Founders Playbook, you have the opportunity to receive individualized mentorship with the program faculty, Professor Prakash and Rajan, to further ideate your ideas and really finesse it. Uh, we're very proud to say that we have received very good review from the past students, and we hope to in this next cycle as well. One of the main thing that stood out is students claiming that after the course, they've had very clear idea what they wanted to learn in college or further studies. And I think one of the main attraction for that is because they were able to talk it out with the teaching fellow of the course and receive individualized attention because they themselves are experts in the field of what they're currently doing. And I think this is where we close it. You can scan this code to get to the enrollment page where you can see all the courses listed. The early application deadline is May 3rd, and we do prioritize new cohorts, so we encourage every student to apply early to the program. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box, or you can email it to us at horizons@ashoka.edu.in. Thank you, everyone.